I asked Jason the same thing when we did his podcast. What's your why? Like what's the external motivation, or maybe it's internal motivation that drives you to be the best?
I think it's changed over the years, and I've kind of touched on it a few times. But for me right now, it's winning, and it's not even close. And it's competing, and it's being the best version of myself every day. How can I do that as the most as possible, and create the best results for myself and my team?
Yeah.
So it's winning, and I think I've been on really good teams, and I've been on really bad teams, and I've had really good seasons, and I've had bad seasons, and finding myself in a place where I can consistently produce and consistently win games and chase that competitive juice and that competitive fire of being able to beat the other team and be able to, punish the other team in ways at the end of the games and finish on a 4-minute drive. Like, there's no better feeling than that. And getting us as Lions to a place where we can do that consistently, I take a lot of pride in, and would be something that I would be proud of for the rest of my life.
The number one, tight end in the country.
Adam Brenneman, tight end, Cedar Cliff.
And then popped up.
Touchdown! Adam Brenneman, a 14-yard strike.
What's up, guys? Welcome into Brenneman Shows Up. I'm Adam Brenneman. We're here in Detroit, Michigan. Just flew in an hour ago. We're going to talk to Lions quarterback Jared Goff. Excited to have him on the podcast. Jason Cabinda, my former teammate from Penn State, who was on a previous episode of this podcast, is going to co-host this one with me. He helped me set the whole thing up, so appreciate Jason for helping out there. Going to talk to Jared about life on and off the field this coming season with the Lions. It's a big-time year for his career, so excited to see what Jared's up to and how he's feeling. Make sure you subscribe, like, follow me on TikTok, Instagram, every platform there is. Make sure you're throwing a like to it. Let's go see what Jared's up to.
How far are you from
Adam, Jared,
How are you?
Good.
Cool. It sounds cool, right? Sounds like you're in
sounds
your
dope.
own
Yeah.
little world.
Now I see why you wanted to wear them. I like it. It's fine. Are we officially rolling?
We're rolling.
Let's go.
All right.
Well, Jared, I appreciate you coming, man. And Jason, appreciate you setting this up for us.
Of course, brother.
Big friend of the podcast, Jason Cabinda. But
That's right.
this is actually the last episode of season 1 of the podcast. So
Great.
it's good to have you on.
Save
8.
the best for last.
8. Awesome.
8
Who
total.
else?
We started with Kenny Pickett, was number
Sweet.
1. So I knew Kenny for a while. He's went to some quarterback camps that I was a receiver at. So did him, and then did the whole Penn State crew. Mike Gesicki and Cabinda and Amani, and we did Chase Edmonds. You know Chase?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know him, but I know who he is. Yeah.
Yeah, so did him and went through the Penn State guys a little bit. So yeah, it was fun.
Good.
Yeah.
But appreciate you doing this, man. Flew into Detroit about an hour ago.
Good.
So got in,
Got
came
some
right to
good
the
weather
studio.
for you today.
Yeah. No, I thought it'd be a little colder, to be honest with you.
It's been nice the last
Like,
couple
bro, it's
weeks.
June.
It's been
Why do
great.
you think it's going to be cold? It's
I don't know. Well,
It's been great.
everyone says Detroit's cold,
Yeah.
So like I figured it would be like sweatshirt weather. So
It's been good for like
Yeah,
a
in the
month.
summer.
Like a month's been nice.
yeah.
April was a little cold.
How was
Yeah,
the
actually it was a little chilly in April.
how was the transition to Detroit from Cali? A little
Yeah,
different weather climate.
Totally, yeah. Well, I lived in California my whole life. Obviously, played for the Rams, and I'd never been to the Midwest. I'd never been out here. I'd never been.
Yeah.
I'd really never done much in the East Coast in general, but the Midwest was definitely new, and I've loved it, man. I've really loved it. Sure, there was a transition period, but I love it out here. My girlfriend and I, Kristen, she lives out here with me, and she loves it. We live in a nice area where out in nature a little bit more than California. Get to slow down a little bit out here, and it's really nice.
Are you a nature guy, like more than a big city guy?
I can do both, I guess.
Yeah.
I do like the change of pace though out here.
Yeah.
I've been where I grew up in California is just north of San Francisco. It's not in a big city at all. So it's more similar to where I live out here, I guess. Where I lived in LA, kind of the same, but in LA, obviously, there's so many things going on. Out here, it's a little bit slower, and I've enjoyed that.
Cali's becoming the quarterback hub of the country, man. There's a lot of big time QBs coming out of Cali now.
Yeah. No, it's been that way. I mean, obviously, Tom and Aaron are both
Right.
from there, but I mean, you could go forever. Myself, Sam, Josh Allen, Derek Carr, and then the older guys.
Bryce
Carson
Young
Palmer,
now and those
right,
guys
Bryce
too,
Young,
the young
yeah.
guys.
What was
Yeah,
your first?
CJ Stroud, I believe, from there too.
I was gonna say, what was your first expectation? Like coming to Detroit, like what goes into that? Like, do you find people to figure out, like, how is
Yeah.
Detroit? Like, did you know people from the Lions team already that you talked to? Like, how is it? Like, dive more into the logistics of the actual move, because I don't think
Yeah.
people really know what goes into
Yeah.
getting traded. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like, okay, they think you just pop up in Detroit, so you're just there.
You gotta
like,
get a
might
new
have-
house.
But yeah, I'm saying you bought a house, you had your cars, some people have a wife and kids, you got to move, all that kind of stuff. so.
Right. Well, my girlfriend was going to come with me, so that made it easy with her. She was very helpful with that. It made my life a whole lot easier. But I guess the best way to put it, like, I had people that I knew that connected me with people out here that would be important to know for things I may need. You know,
Right.
whatever that may be, buying a house, going to dinner,
Yeah.
getting a car, you
Mhm.
know, a million things, shipping a car.
Right.
A million things that I would have needed. That I had just have friends that know people that live out here, and
Yeah.
that was really how I gained some connections. And then through the Lions, obviously
Right.
they've got connections to people you need to know that'll help with stuff. And so yeah, a little bit of everything, and that was probably those first, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6 months of
Right.
figuring that out.
There's so many logistics, right? That you're just
So
saying
many.
going
No
through
one-
there, like
no one
shipping a car.
realizes.
I mean,
Right.
seriously, and that's all on you, right? Like, it's not like the Lions pay for all that
No,
stuff. for
no,
you
of
to ship a
course,
car.
yeah,
Like,
no.
it's all on you.
Yeah,
Like,
you got to
people don't
figure it out.
understand that.
You got to figure it out. And it's actually been, you know, you don't realize until you actually go through it. But now this next year in this off season, I'm like, man, I've got like nothing to do. All my stuff's out here. All my clothes are out here. My
Right.
car's out here. You know, I've got a good setup in my house now where I can kind of, you know, operate from there pretty easily. And it's nice.
Right.
What was your recruiting process like? We were in the same high school class, 2013.
That's
You're
right,
obviously
yep.
a big time recruit. What was that process
Oh.
like, and how'd you pick Cal?
Right. I you know, to be honest, I really wasn't until late in the process.
Late bloomer.
Big time, sure. I played in an area that wasn't very highly recruited, I guess you would say. It's just north of San Francisco, probably 30 minutes, and just didn't get college coaches a lot. We didn't have any lights in our league, so we played on Saturdays, as did the colleges, right? So
Oh, man.
they wouldn't come see us as much. And I, as a sophomore, played a bunch. Didn't start, but played a bunch. As a junior, started and had a great year. And that's when the interest started coming, and that was March, I believe February or March of after my junior football season was Cal Junior Day. And my dad was at work. He was a firefighter. My mom was at work. So I went over there with my high school coach and my uncle. And, you know, you do the whole tour, and, you know, you've done a million of them. And get there to Coach Tedford was the coach at the time, and get there to his office. Hey, Jared, I want to talk to you. I'm like, all right, great. I had no expectation. I have no offers. I've got nothing going on. You know, but, you know, hey, Cal. Side note, both my parents went to Cal. Been a huge fan my whole life. Not that it meant that I was going to go there, but, like, it helped.
Legacy.
It helped. Anyway, so I'm there, and in Coach Tedford's office, hey, Jared, you know, we really like you. We like your tape. We're going to offer you a scholarship and blah, blah, blah. And he just kind of kept talking through it. And I'm, like, looking around, like, did he just offer me that? You know, it was my first one, so I didn't really know how it went. Offered me the scholarship. From there, the next day, I believe the next day, Washington State and Boise State both offered. And then the way it works for quarterbacks, and probably similar for tight ends, you know, once that spot's filled, you know, you kind of move on. So for me, being in California, I wanted to play in the Pac-12. And then specifically, I liked Cal, Stanford, USC, UCLA. One of those four in California. Great schools. My sister goes to UCLA. Like, that would have been great. And it just so happened the other three were already taken.
Yeah.
Cal was the only one who offered me, and that made the decision easy.
You didn't have a choice, really.
Yeah, best decision of my life. But yeah, it was definitely narrowed down there to Cal, and about 3 weeks later I committed, and then from there Elite 11 and all that stuff happened, and you know.
And you were in the Elite 11 too?
Yeah, with your guys, Hackenberg.
Yeah,
Buddy of mine,
that's
yeah.
what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
Is Hack? I'm golfing with him on Friday.
Amazing.
So,
Tell him I said hi.
Yeah, I will.
Great
But
guy.
he was the 5-star in that class, the
I was
number
gonna
one
say,
quarterback
how
in
did
the
Hack
country.
look back then?
Hack was great, man. Hack was a stud, man. He was balling, and we became friends. We spent some time there at the Elite 11. We're roommates at the Manning Passing Academy once we got
sweet.
to college, and then we're actually roommates at the Combine too. So we were together quite a bit, and I followed his career and everything he's done since. And tell him I say hello.
Hack's a good dude, man. He
Yeah.
good golfer too.
He is
can
good.
play a little bit. He can
Good.
play a little bit. No, but that's awesome. So you go to Cal and you start as a true freshman, right?
Yes.
Right away.
Yeah.
So it was a relatively simple transition for you then to get
Yeah,
there.
not really. I mean, like I said, grew up going to games, grew up a fan. So like being able to play there as an 18-year-old freshman was like
Unreal.
unbelievable.
What was the biggest difference for you coming from senior year of high school going into your freshman year in terms of like the game?
Everyone's gonna say the speed, and I know it's a cliche answer, but you guys know that's probably the main thing, and just how fast the defensive line was really.
Yeah,
Like
feeling them.
they're
feeling the
they're
pressure.
they're as fast as, I mean, especially in the NFL now, they're as fast as anyone else on the field. So that was the biggest difference, was like these guys get home a lot faster, and understanding there's a little bit of a quicker clock back there, and then you get hit a few times, you're like, all right, I don't want that to happen again, and that starts to happen. But yeah, it was an amazing experience, and hard experience. We went 1-11, really hard, not fun. Hometown, all my friends and family are coming to every game. We're losing every game. We won the second game of the year and then lost the rest of them. So 1-11, and then the next year we went 5-7. And the last year we were 8-5 with a bowl game win, and was kind of a cool culmination of it all.
Yeah, Pac-12 needs to not figure it out, but it needs a little more of a come up at this point.
They do. They need a little bit of help.
Yeah.
Cal's doing a good job so far. I like Coach Wilcox and everything he's
done great, and he stayed, right? They
Yeah.
were trying to get him to Oregon or somewhere, they were saying.
Yeah, I believe Oregon offered him the job,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, and he wanted to stay, which is great.
Do you talk to him at all, Coach Wilcox?
Here and there, yeah, probably
Yeah.
a couple times a year.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, Pac-12. It seems like if they could just figure out it's hard because on the East Coast everyone's
No one
asleep by
sees
the
it.
time
Yeah,
they're playing.
I know.
Yeah.
That's been the hardest part about living out here is
Yeah.
a lot of sports. I'm a giant Warrior fan, and they've been playing.
Right.
I don't know when this is gonna come out, but they just got to the NBA Finals, so I'll have to stay up and watch some of those. It'll be fun.
Yeah, no, that'll be
I
exciting.
mean, USC is supposed to be going crazy this year, aren't they?
I mean, Lincoln Riley's gotten everyone, man.
Yeah, that's what I
He's got-
heard. Like with NIL and everything, they got like every
Yeah.
big recruit.
I
playing
can't even
guys.
keep up with that stuff, man. It's like I don't even know what the rules are. Or,
Yeah,
like,
what do you think about? I mean, you would have made a lot of money in
That's what I'm
NIL,
saying.
right?
not really. I mean, I don't know. Like
I guess
everything happened for me again so late, even in college.
I mean,
Like,
yeah.
I had a bad freshman year. Like we lost. My numbers were fine. I had a good sophomore year, and then I had a really good junior year, and like things kind of took off from there. I wasn't like returning as like a Heisman or like somebody who had done something
True.
the
Yeah,
year
yeah.
before. So yeah, maybe a little bit more, but not like these kids are getting.
Yeah. It's all these
Good
like
for them, though.
collectives are like raising money and just
Yeah.
through like nonprofits
Yeah,
and like
that-
giving them
Yeah.
to the players. It's crazy.
I saw somebody say something. It would be good if they made it so they had to play first,
yeah.
and then you can make the money.
You couldn't do it from
Make
like
as much money as
recruiting.
you want,
Yeah.
right? You shouldn't be able to do it until you play, I don't know, let's say 5 games, or
Yeah.
Why?
because these schools are paying these guys before they've done anything. They're just paying them to get them.
Yeah.
And sure, I mean, good for them. They're good high school players.
It's
but
like pay for play though.
Right.
So, yeah.
it's still like let them in some way earn it, I guess.
I
and,
guess.
And I don't want. I mean, make your money, like get it all. But
Yeah.
uh,
Would you say not
It's
being a
hard for the
star at the high school
colleges.
level isn't earning it at all?
I don't think so. It's hard for these colleges, I think, to give XYZ player, I don't know how much, millions of dollars, and then they don't play for them, and then you're kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Now,
And
good for the player. Like go make your money. Like
Right.
go from that school, do your thing. But I would imagine from a college standpoint, they're going, well, shit. I was hoping this guy would play for
Yeah.
us and,
Yeah.
and be a good player.
And I think it's like we all agree it's good for the players to be able to make money, but the problem is there's no like parity in the process. Like
Right, yeah.
like there's no like in the NFL you got the salary cap, you got
Right.
all the rule. In college it's just kind of like the wild west where like no one really, it's not a level playing field for anyone, and that's I thought the Nick Saban Jimbo Fisher fiasco was
funny.
I think that's
hilarious.
hilarious. That is
Jimbo
funny.
called him a narcissist.
Like it's always cool when you have rivalries between players, like wide receiver, quarterback, cornerback, like whatever the
The
case may
coaches
be. But
ones
like
are fun.
when you have coaches, bro, like guys who truly are supposed to keep shit completely professional, not
Yeah.
even get into that, and they're getting into it hardcore, like that's awesome.
So funny.
Right.
It's popcorn ready.
What was your draft process like? Like did you went into it thinking
Yeah.
you'd be the #1 pick?
No. Again, everything kind of like it's kind of a
Happened
theme.
late.
Yeah, it all kind of just like progressed really quickly, and I guess that's how most guys would say things like that happen. But came into the process as one of the top guys, but I was one of 2 or 3 guys that were the top guys. And at the time, it was myself, Paxton Lynch, Carson Wentz, who else was, Christian was there. I believe Connor Cook was in my class and part of that.
Yeah, Connor Cook.
Who else? Well, Dak Prescott was in my class, was a later draft pick.
Oh, yeah.
But those top like 2 or 3 guys at the time in the draft, I progressed through the process and did a good job. And about 2 weeks before the draft, the Rams traded up and took me, and it kind of like all happened like within 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. And then what was that transition like? I mean, obviously it was relatively close for you in California.
Yeah.
Were you excited? Like, was that where you wanted to go throughout the process, or were you just kind of willing to go wherever it was going to take you?
Yeah, I wanted to go to a good team, and again, I wasn't expecting to go 1 overall. It really wouldn't have happened had they not traded up, because Tennessee had the first pick and Cleveland had the second pick. So Tennessee had Marcus. Cleveland was in the market for a quarterback, but they didn't take one that year. So who knows where I would have got picked if that trade never happened. But being close to home was cool. It was cool. I was able to have a lot of family come. Still, it's a 6-hour drive and an hour flight. But still, being on the West Coast was helpful early on, and just being around people I know, being around friends and family. But it doesn't really matter now where I'm at in the league. I understand like you can play anywhere if you can play, you can play. And but yeah, it was fun.
Was it interesting going into the league, obviously as like the expected starter as a number 1 pick, and having guys that are like 13 years older than you on the team? Like, where in college you got guys that are like 1 or 2 years older than you, because you were probably were you 20 at the time? 21 at the time.
21. It was definitely different. Being from college and you're 21 years old, you're the big man on campus, and then you get drafted, and now you're back to the bottom of the list. And I was actually not starting right away. I didn't start for the first 9 games. Case Keenum started, and I've said this before, but I owe a lot of what I know now to him. Yeah. He taught me a lot, and kind of was able to prepare me in a way without putting himself at a deficit to get me ready to play. And in hindsight, I'm extremely thankful for him and what he was able to help me with. And didn't win a game that year, but the next year we did okay.
Yeah.
How hard is it to lead as a young guy like that?
Yeah.
In a year
That's
1, year 2 role, like, because when you're a quarterback, like, you're expected to lead. You lead the offense. Like, that's what you expect when you get in the huddle. You got to take command, all that kind of stuff. Like, what goes into that?
Right. That's a great question. I've always I have a theory on it that if you are genuine and you're prepared, I don't care how old you are, it shouldn't matter. And like, if an 18-year-old kid came into the NFL and was playing on our team and was playing any position on our team, and he was himself and he showed up prepared every day, you're going to go, okay, I respect that.
Yeah.
And that's all it takes. No, everyone has their different style of leadership, whether it's loud, quiet, lead by example, lead in the weight room, whatever it may be. Everyone's got their different style, and I think that's somewhat irrelevant as long as you are prepared and you are yourself, because when you're not yourself, that gets sniffed out pretty quickly.
Yeah. Was anybody in your ear at the time like, you need to do more, you need to speak up more, or even the opposite, telling you, hey, chill out, rookie, you just got here?
No, I mean, my personality. I'm relatively laid back, so no, it was just be yourself, and that was what I was trying to do. And at the same time, Case was a starter, so it wasn't a different situation where I did have to kind of pull myself back a little bit,
right?
Not step on his toes in any ways, but at the same time, let the coaches know that I am ready to play whenever they want to put me in, and be able to display that leadership in my own way with the twos at the time.
Right.
Did you feel like, from the media there was the added pressure of being the number 1 pick? Like, did you feel that right away in your career?
Yeah. I mean, of course. How can you not? I think I wish I would have wanted less to prove people right or prove people wrong, and just play as best I can.
Yeah.
Did it stunt me at all? I don't know, but it would have made things a little bit easier mentally. But yeah, I wish in hindsight that I didn't want to like, I need to prove that guy wrong, or I need to prove the Rams right. They're right to pick me. No, like, just do the best I can. It's a sport. If we win, fantastic. I want to win. I want to compete, but just do the best you can and enjoy the day.
Yeah, block it all out, right?
Right.
What the other interesting part of it was you had Hard Knocks going on your very first year at the Rams.
Yeah.
That was an added element that I had forgot about till I was like doing some research before this. That must have made things interesting too, because they obviously want to feature you on the show. We got 2 Hard Knocks stars here too, right?
Yeah,
Jason's a Hard Knocks star.
Yep. So it was we had Hard Knocks and All or Nothing, which wasn't.
What's All or Nothing?
I don't know if it was called All or
Is
Nothing.
that like
at the time.
NFL Networks?
It was at the time. It was Amazon, which was the in-season cameras, but it was the same crew as NFL.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Now at this time, I believe it's hard. I think they just call it Hard Knocks in season,
HBO, right?
and it's the Cardinals this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got drafted. I'll give you a story. Hold on, sorry. So I get drafted in Chicago. I get drafted at probably 8 o'clock at night. I did media until 11:30. Got to eat dinner with my family, celebrate. It's midnight. Great. Go out, party with my friends. Go to bed at like, I don't know, 4 or 5. Wake up at 6. Have a flight to LA the next day. Go to the airport. Great. Get on the flight. I land in LA wearing the same clothes I was wearing the night before. Like I didn't know, like and I land and they're like, all right, you're not gonna go through the airport. We're gonna take you off the side. Great. With my mom, just me and my mom, my dad, and everyone else on a different flight. And walking down the stairs of the airport, there's still like if you go back and look, you'll see the shot. It's me like coming off. So like the first thing I land, it's like cameras, boom. I'm like, oh, all right, okay. So I get into the SUV they have there, and it's me and who would be Sean Pugh for us,
Yeah.
our player development guy, and he's sitting there, and it's GoPro, and I'm like, all right. So
Let me put my face on.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, all right. Again, I've slept like an hour and a half and had like the most like emotionally draining week of my life, but you know, I'm gonna make it. I'm doing good. 30 minutes to the hotel, get there, and I'm like, all right, finally, like I get to just rest. And again, I've got no idea what my schedule for the day is. It's probably, I don't know, noon, 2, 1 o'clock maybe. I got no idea. I'm like, all right, I get to go rest. I've got my suit. The guy, Sean Pugh, the player development guy.
Yeah, yeah.
He goes, all right, put your suit on. Your press conference is in 20 minutes. And I'm like, bro.
Straight out the plane.
Yeah, so I go upstairs. Again, I haven't really eaten anything either. Like, it was like, so I get upstairs. I
A
have
little
like,
hungover.
I have
it's
like the
just-
little like hotel pretzels. Like, I just like put them down, put my suit on, turned it on for another hour, and did the press conference, met some coaches. At that point, it's day 2 of the draft, so they're a little bit busy. But was able to talk to them for a couple hours, and then finally like take a deep breath, like relax, sit down. Was probably 5, 6 o'clock, and then like the cool moment was later that night we had dinner at the hotel on the top. It was a Wolfgang Puck restaurant. I don't remember what it was called, but me, my mom, my dad, my sister. I believe that was it. Kind of looking out. We're in LA now, and it's like, all right, like finally, like I can absorb this a little bit, and take
Relax.
it all in, and relax, and like kind of plan for the next however many weeks.
Yeah, that's awesome. So
Yeah.
at this point, when they come back, like, do you know the crew now at Hard Knocks and stuff? Is
Oh,
it
yeah.
like you're very familiar with the producers and stuff?
Yeah, the producers, the cameramen, all those people. If they're the same people as they were the last time I went on it,
Yeah.
it would be. I know the producer is the same. I'm not sure about the cameraman.
Yeah. Well, you had an experience in Hard Knocks too, right?
I
You were on for
did.
a little bit.
Oakland. Yeah, Oakland.
Were
My
you
second
really?
year.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were like featured on it too, right?
Yeah, my second training camp I was on there a lot. Underdog story.
Yeah.
I did get cut on Hard Knocks.
On camera.
But I know. I mean, it was cool. I was balling. I had my best training camp that I'd had. Coming into the league. I was the kind of underdog story, undrafted. Looking like he's gonna make the team, all that kind of stuff. They just only kept 4 linebackers that year.
Yeah.
And the cool part was, after I got cut, Detroit called me like 10 minutes later, and I was able to go get on a flight, and like they captured that too. And, like that was cool that they included that. As well, but you know how Hard Knocks is.
Yeah.
Like added pressure, people are gonna do extra stuff.
Right.
For the cameras and stuff like that. But
Right, you
gotta
won't
stay,
though.
Nah, you gotta
Okay, good.
stay level headed. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Okay,
I mean,
good.
we might have a little, a little every week show featuring Hard Knocks.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
all
Do a little media deal. I might try to sneak that in there.
Good,
but,
you should.
but yeah, no, it's a good deal.
I think so many people always are like, oh, does it suck being on Hard Knocks? And it's like, yeah, there's a little bit of invasion of privacy, but for the most part, they're there to showcase you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I probably didn't understand early on is I'm like, this sucks. Get these cameras out of here. I want to play football. But if you can use it the right way, like they're not there to like tear anyone down or like expose anyone. They're there to showcase ultimately this year the city of Detroit and everything that we've built in the last year, and hopefully we can show them.
Do you give guys any advice like on the team when Hard Knocks comes?
Yeah, the number one thing I say is you don't have to do anything if you don't want to.
Yeah. True.
They're gonna ask you to go on a boat ride or go do something on a and it's all good intentioned.
Yeah.
But if these young guys they think they have to say yes to everything, you don't have to. You can
Yeah.
say no, I'm good, thank you. they'll come back with something else, or they'll just leave you alone.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And be careful of what you do say in general.
Totally. Yeah,
Like just in general.
Does
be
the
careful
team
what you
have like
say.
veto power on?
They
or
do.
What they do. Okay.
they do, but
Yeah.
And every team is
there's
different.
there's a deadline for when the film needs to be turned in and it needs to go
Yeah.
on TV. So it's you can't look at it forever. You
Yeah,
get one
right.
look at it, and then it's like, all right, that's good, that's not, that's good. All right, see you later.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure McVay was pretty chill about the cameras and like letting them pretty much do whatever.
We had
they
it the
wanted.
COVID year, so they like couldn't get that close to us. So it was 2020 training camp, and they split it with. So the first year it was hard because I was a rookie and they were everywhere. Second time I did it was split between the Rams and the Chargers.
Yeah.
So the amount of coverage they had on us, and for sure the amount of footage they put public was split in half.
Yeah.
Right. And then put on top of that, it was COVID. They weren't allowed in the meetings. They weren't allowed in the building. Like they could only get us on the practice field, and then they would put cameras up in meeting rooms, but they couldn't walk
Right.
around with cameras. There was no boom mics. There was none of that. They couldn't even get close to us at practice because of COVID.
Yeah.
So it was scaled back much more that year, based on it being split, and it was a COVID year.
It's gonna be the full thing this year, though, right?
Oh, we'll have full throttle.
It will.
They'll be all in.
Yeah,
Well,
it'll be
they're
fun.
gonna they're gonna eat Dan up in a good way. Like they're gonna love Coach Campbell.
What was
Right.
your first impression of Coach Campbell when you first met him?
I first met him at the Pro Bowl in 2018. The Saints were the staff for the Pro Bowl, and so he was the tight ends coach. And again, we had like a brief conversation, but that was the end of it. But we knew each other from that. And then I had played the Saints a handful of times, and so we had crossed over a little bit, but we never really had spent any time together. But yeah, he's been awesome, man. I've really enjoyed his energy and who he is. And I think the number one thing that I'll say about him that people always ask me is he's just genuine. He's not putting on a show. When he does his stuff in the media, it's not an act. Like he's not trying to like spew headlines. It's who he is. He's genuine. I think you can attest to this too. Like if you ask him something, he's going to give you the real answer, whether you want to hear it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you respect most as a player. He was a player. He gets it. And he'll tell you how it is. And sometimes it's good and sometimes not.
Yeah. He treats you like a man. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's a man's league.
Yeah.
There's too many coaches who are fake or won't keep it real with you or won't just say what is really on their mind, So
All right.
I think Dan being like that is crucial just from a trust level.
Yeah.
And you know how it is, like with trust, like players and coaches, like you got to trust your coach got to trust you. Like that's the only way the shit works. That's the only way you can win.
Yeah.
So I think having that type of environment and then that trickles down to the rest of the coaches and the assistants and stuff like that, that's just, it's awesome.
We were talking about Detroit. I feel like, just from an outsider's perspective, that they have made a serious effort to invest in people around you this coming season. Do you feel
It's
that
been
way?
fun. Yeah. Obviously last year was hard for everyone, but I think I trust Brad, I trust Dan, I trust their plan, and seeing, getting a guy like Josh Reynolds to sign back, going and getting DJ Chark, obviously drafting Jameson, it's been like kind of okay, cool, like let's go do this thing, and they're doing it the right way, and it's really exciting. It's we've got a lot of work to do, and doesn't just because we have better players now, it doesn't mean that we're gonna just automatically win. It's a lot of work to do, and we know that, but it's going in the right direction for sure, and it's an exciting time to be in line.
Yeah. I just think like at our level, there aren't enough true football people in front office and in these scouting positions in general. Like when you have people like Campbell, you have people like Brad, like who really know football players, really know the culture of football, what it should be, what it should look like, what like the mindset of the football player that you're bringing into the organization should be, then you're getting the right players. But there's too many people who either didn't truly grow up playing, didn't play at a high level, don't really know the game, don't really know what it's like to have the pads on, and you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's really through all levels, but I think it's almost unacceptable at our level, like to have that at the NFL level. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Wouldn't you agree? Or,
Yeah, and I absolutely, and I think I don't want to speak for Brad or Dan, but you guys have all played with guys that you go like, all right, that guy like likes playing football,
Yeah.
or that guy like wants to be here, and he could be good, he could be bad, he could be indifferent, but like I want him on my team.
Yeah.
It feels like they just keep bringing guys like that in.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing to be around as obviously a quarterback, but any teammate.
Yeah.
To be around guys who really love it and really want to be there and aren't playing for money, but are competitors and just they keep using the word grit, and it's great, but it's really like that feeling of like wanting to be out there with your teammates. And it's not like that
Yeah.
everywhere. And
Yeah.
it's starting to build that way here in Detroit. And it's really exciting.
It does feel like just from watching Dan Campbell that he's a guy who would not tolerate someone who doesn't love football.
Right.
Like,
And
he just wouldn't
not
let
at
it
all.
happen.
That's kind of like what they've started. Exactly, they've started doing like it just wouldn't fly, right? So like they continue to bring in guys, obviously through the draft, but even in free agency, that you're like, I want him on my team. Every guy so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as last season, and I know you're going to say you didn't win enough games, so that didn't do the job. But I feel like you played pretty well throughout the season, especially towards the end. Like you had you started kind of hitting your stride. It looked like from an offensive perspective. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, towards the end, we started figuring some things out. I think when Ben Johnson, who was our current coordinator, had his fingerprint on things a little bit, it was able to accelerate some things, especially in the pass game. And I did have a couple injuries there down the stretch, but when I was able to be out there, especially in those last 4 or 5 games, it felt like our offense was humming a little bit at times, and still I think we went 3-2 in those last 5 games. I don't 3-1 in the last 4 or something. And still, we'd still like to have probably some bigger numbers, but at the same time, it was a vast improvement from what we were previously, and being able to be out there and actually feel a good rhythm in our offense, and for those young guys to be able to feel what it should feel like when your offense is working and when things are going the right way, that was important.
And sometimes I think like the criticism that maybe you've gotten about this past season, like people don't understand, like it's a new system. Like you're not going into year 2. You're going to be a lot more comfortable. Like there's so many things that are behind the scenes that people don't really understand, or they just look at the product on Sunday and that's just what it is. They don't understand everything that goes into it besides that. So
Right.
like I feel like you can really make that jump this year as well in that sense.
We sure. We all know that like media, like most of the time what they're saying, they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Typically. Right. And you guys are both going to be media guys, which is fantastic, and you'll keep it real, which will be great.
For sure.
But no, absolutely. I think being in Ben's offense this year. Now, last year he had his own little flavor towards the end there that he was able to have a little bit more input on, but now it's truly his, and he has to he's able to build it this offseason. Early indications in OTAs is like, all right, like this is real deal, and we've got a chance to be good. What does that mean? Nothing.
For sure.
But we feel, and I know Jason can attest to this, that we have a real chance to do something good offensively.
No doubt.
Have you thrown any passes to Jason?
Threw him a touchdown.
Yeah, right. You threw a touchdown. What's
My
Jason
first
the tight
touchdown.
end like? I never seen this part of him.
Jason the
Yeah,
tight
most
end has better hands than you'd expect.
I
and it's
never
very-
thought he'd have good hands.
Very coachable, actually. He came. We were running seam routes when it was his first day back a few weeks ago, and I'm like, hey, give me like a little stick at the top, and sure enough, boom, right on him, and caught it with his hands. It was sweet. He's a good athlete and does a good job, obviously at fullback, but can catch the ball too.
Jack of all trades, man.
I think it's funny when like y'all who've played with me like years ago to now like see me play or see
I
that
can't
I'm playing-
imagine. Yeah, I only know fullback.
I
Like
can't
that's what I'm
imagine
saying.
that.
Like you
Yeah.
probably don't know much about me playing defense, and obviously
No.
you know nothing about me, playing offense. And I just think it's so funny because I think even just like my movements, like the way I move, like I think I sent you a couple clips the other day, just me running a route on the air, and you were like, "Bro, you look agile. Like I've never seen you move like that." I just think that's so funny. To me.
It is. He won't toot his own horn. Maybe he will, but having
He will.
Maybe he will. Having a fullback who can actually catch a little bit.
Yeah.
And now he's getting better. He's doing a good job. But having a guy who can actually catch a little bit and can make something after the catch is a crazy weapon.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've seen what Juszczyk can do.
Yeah.
He might as well be a tight end.
Yeah.
But like that is a crazy weapon to have offensively.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I have to go get some cone work with my guy over here.
Yeah.
I love it. I love
Next
it.
couple months.
We're obviously big fans of the tight ends on this podcast.
Yeah.
What's TJ like?
TJ's great. TJ's great.
He seems very underrated in the league, right? Like
Yeah,
Somewhat.
He's still he's still young and finding himself in his career right now, but he's done a great job, man. He's a fun guy to play with because he's so much a receiver playing tight end. He can block really well, but as a quarterback, when he's running his route, he's running it like a receiver.
Yeah.
And only so many guys can wiggle the way he does. His hips move the way they do. Like it's a rare combination of size and speed that is exciting for me to throw to, and he's only getting better.
Yeah, that's exciting. I'm excited to see him score some more touchdowns.
He
man.
will.
I got ahead of my fantasy team last year, so
We'll
we're gonna
get
need
him some more touchdowns
we're
this
gonna
year.
need that.
I need some more too.
And you love guys like TJ just because like he's a type when you go into the meeting room, like, Bro, like, it's just ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go into some meeting rooms, like, some coaches make it just so much more than it is and try to make the game more complicated. Like, when you can create an environment where everybody's just playing free, bro, like back in high school, like, everybody knows what it felt like to play in high school, where you just go, like, you know you're him. Like, I'm about to go, I'm having 3 touchdowns. Like, I know that for a fact. Like, he has that same type of mindset where it's like, bro, like, it just seemed like, just run the route, catch the ball. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
just the type of dude to dumb it down, just make it easy, no pressure, no. The type of teammate you want.
Yeah.
Right.
How much of like the outside noise do you actually hear? Like as far as the Detroit media and like, I'm always curious because I feel like you hear people we talked about before, like when if you hear it when it's good, you also hear it when it's bad. So you try to block out the whole thing to begin with. But how much do you hear of like people
Right.
saying the make or break season, all that kind of stuff?
Not much. I mean, I don't have Twitter.
Yeah.
That's where most of it's at. Obviously,
Stay off Twitter.
especially the negative
Yeah.
stuff. I have Instagram. Apparently, every once in a while you can see stuff on there. But
Yeah.
like, again, I think kind of what I spoke to earlier. I've gotten to the point where I'm not trying to please anybody. I'm not trying to do anything for anyone else. I'm not trying to prove anyone right or wrong. It's I want to go out there. I want to work as best I can during the week. Play well on Sundays. Do it again. Like
Yeah.
it's become that for me at this point in my career where I'm not out here trying to be vindictive about anything. It's just
Yeah.
I want to win. I want to compete. I want to be there for my teammates, and that's it.
Well, at this point in your career, what drives you the most?
Winning, not even close.
Yeah.
It's not a close second. That's what I'm getting at. Like early on in my career, it might have been, man, I need to make sure this guy doesn't say that about
Yeah.
me again.
Yeah.
Or
I hate that reporter.
or that guy said something good about me.
Yeah.
I need to make sure he's right about this. And at this point, it's not that, and I don't think it ever will be again.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much more about winning, and especially winning coming off of the situation that we had last year. There's nothing sweeter. And this opportunity that we have in front of us this year is as good as it gets.
What's been your favorite moment of your career so far?
Ooh, the
Tough
there's
one.
a handful, yeah. Favorite's a hard word because there's moments that were bigger than others, but like, I mean, just last year with the last play against Minnesota, it was just top 3 for
Yeah.
sure. I'll give you
Yeah.
3. That one's top 3 in no order. Being able to win that game in those circumstances, the Oxford shooting was that week. It was our first win.
Facts.
The last play of the game, the way it kind of unraveled there at the end.
Facts.
Yeah.
It was very emotional, and being able to win that game, Michigan won their game on the day before, so it was kind of a
That's sweet.
very emotional
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
It was cool. In LA, we played Kansas City on Monday night. Kind of a similar situation actually. It was following a shooting in Thousand Oaks, and we played Kansas City on Monday night. It was the game where I think it was 54-51. Crazy game, crazy shootout. Again, very emotional. A lot of service people there, firefighters. The fires in LA were also going on during that time. That made us I think we were 10-1 at that point. So it was all good things going on. Then the last one would be winning the NFC Championship. I wish I could say the Super Bowl, but we
Yeah.
lost. But winning the NFC Championship in New Orleans, we were down 13-3, 13-0 maybe to
I remember that game.
start the game. Came all the way back and won, and that game was special.
That was a game with the crazy call, right?
Yeah.
The pass interference call.
There was a lot more that happened
Yeah.
in that game.
Yeah.
But yes, that's what it's remembered by.
What was that Super Bowl game like for you?
Yeah, I wish I could say it was a whole lot of fun. It was
Yeah.
it was hard. I mean, it was a fun experience for sure. The whole couple weeks leading up to it, and being able to play in that game is something that I'm grateful I never took for granted. I was very present and very serious about knowing that how rare it is to play in that game. So did my best, prepared as best I could. Obviously, we didn't do nearly enough, but it was a good experience for hopefully if I were to get back,
Yeah.
I'll absolutely be better prepared and know how to handle it maybe a little bit differently.
What do you think was the your toughest moment of your career? You gave us 3 of the best. What's where you had to overcome
Man.
the most adversity?
Probably. I mean, I'll give you a couple. My rookie year, losing the 7th game in a row to finish the season off. So going 0-7 as a rookie and finishing off there as the 7th one. Being 1-11 as a freshman at Cal. any of those games where you're just getting blown out. In college, you get blown out.
Yeah,
too.
Yeah, it's not even close.
NFL games are typically pretty close. College, you get 50-7. Like they pull
Yeah.
their starters at halftime type of stuff. You know,
At
like,
Cal.
Penn State playing Rutgers. Just playing Rutgers.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Let me think. What else? I mean, I've had some heartbreaking losses. I'm trying to think when we've lost on like a field goal, like the Ravens field goal last year is tough, and then
That
followed
shit
up with the
hurt.
Minnesota
hurts.
field goal. Yeah, those are tough, man. God, I'm trying to give you a better story. Let me think. Toughest moment. I mean, I don't know. That's probably.
I mean, it could be
think those are
your
good.
hardest hit.
I mean,
It could be the hardest hit you've ever
I got
taken.
pulled in college once. That was hard. Granted, I went back in the next game, but
Did
yeah.
you?
Hardest hit. Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah,
Ooh, NFL or college?
NFL.
Okay.
And it can be in practice. It doesn't have to be a game.
No, I didn't get hit in practice.
Yeah, who's hitting him in practice, dude? You be cut. Does that happen?
I mean, if AD were to hit him in practice, do you think AD's gonna yell that?
Is he getting yelled at? It's probably like, hey, Aaron, don't do that again. But,
I don't know if he
hey,
is.
go back with it. You're all right. I got hit by Fletcher Cox in 2017,
Sheesh.
and
Big boy.
and for reference, my helmet came off and the buckles didn't come off.
Oh man.
So
That's
Some
just
serious
impact.
force.
yeah, so this was when they could still land on the quarterback. So
Yeah,
he got up under me, picked me up, landed on me, and my helmet like flew off. But then I like went to put it back on. The straps were still buckled up.
Still had double vision.
Yeah, it was a little foggy after that. That one, I got hit by Anthony Barr one time. It was either Anthony or Eric. It might have been both of them, Kendricks, in the same game. I thought I bit my tongue off. I don't wear a mouthpiece. And they got me up under the chin on a good one. Like they blitzed late up the middle like an add-on. And got me good under the chin. And I'm like, did I just bite my tongue? Like thought I bit myself there. Who else has got me good? Sherman got me on the sideline in Seattle.
You said Sherm?
You've probably seen that one.
He's probably talking a lot of shit.
Yeah, of course. I mean, this was like right towards the end of Legion of Boom. This was my rookie year, so 2016. I took off on a scramble down the sideline, like kind of like right near the pylon, and he got me up under the chin. I actually got pulled for a concussion that game, but that hit didn't hurt as bad as it looked. Like there's some that are like bad that no one realizes are that
Yeah.
bad. Just typically when you get like 300 pounds landed on top of you.
Do you feel like you for real
that's
had a
one of-
concussion?
No, I don't think I did.
Oh,
That was when they were pulling dudes at
Just if
like
you-
if you
yeah.
like laid on the ground too
all-
long.
yeah.
So no, I thought I was like, I'm fine. Like, what are you talking about? And then, but there are times where I think I may have had a concussion in other games where I wasn't taken out. But I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
That's
You
funny.
you for sure have.
Yeah,
Oh,
you got
I've
one
never
every play.
I've never gotten a concussion in my life.
Really?
yeah, that
No.
sounds like somebody who's had a lot of concussions.
I've literally never had a concussion, ever.
Really?
I mean, everybody's had their bell
Tim
rung.
Bream never
Everybody's
pulled you out?
Everybody's gotten a little 5-second double vision. All right, this shit got to line back up.
That might be one.
Nah, I don't think so. Because I feel like you need the migraine or the headache.
Right.
That's like the biggest symptom.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like-
you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know better.
And
than
I
would.
get I'll get one of those just from like first couple hits in training camp, just first time hitting again, just like okay,
Just
my
get-
head
yeah.
needs to get used to this again.
Getting all the rust off. I love it.
No,
Oh,
I hate. I can't.
one more. Sorry, I just remembered it, and
Uh-huh.
you guys may remember this name. A guy named Kevin Minter.
Yeah, the
He might-
linebacker.
Yeah, he might be towards the end of his
51.
career now.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Hit me my rookie year against Arizona so hard in the chest and knocked the wind out of me, and I thought I like broke my sternum. It was again, this was like pre like targeting, like
Yeah, yeah.
lowered his forehead, like got me. He actually got a penalty on it for late hit, and I threw up like it was like a boom
Yeah,
kick.
yeah.
Yeah.
But pass or roughing the passer or whatever, and it was all good. But that one I just remembered was probably the one.
Yeesh. And one thing I hate, I can't guess about you. What artists are you listening to before the game? Like, who's your top 3 artists? Like, I actually, like, if you were to ask me that, I
Yeah.
would have zero idea.
I really don't have like a go-to. It's just like whatever I'm listening to that week. And I like country, I like hip hop, I like rock, I like pop, I like it all, and whatever I'm listening to that week, it's typically on like my most recently played.
Yeah.
There'll be 20 songs on
Just
there, and
replay 'em.
just shuffle
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So you're not like I have an absolute this song comes after this song or this song on game
No.
days. You're not one of those people.
Nope. I mean, there'll be. I used to be. I used to have like a certain couple ones that I like to listen to.
Right.
no longer. You know, I don't need to get myself too juiced up because I've played with that too, where I go like, all right, I'm gonna get myself fired up for this game, and then afterwards I'm like, I probably shouldn't have done. You know,
Yeah.
I like to remain kind of level, even in pregame. Maybe now in pregame get a little bit more, but
Yeah.
you know, I've played with it through my career.
Interesting.
You know, the one thing I was
What are you
thinking,
listening to?
You didn't name one artist though. Okay, I need
mean,
like 3 artists. 3 to 5
Mor-
artists.
Morgan Wallen,
Yeah, sure. I mean, like, dude, like
Who's
it's
that?
literally.
country singer.
Country guy?
It's literally
no
like
idea.
anything. Like you name it, I've probably listened to it. Like, go ahead,
Okay.
name one.
I mean, Drake, Young
Yes.
Thug,
Yes,
Future.
yes.
I don't know country artists like that.
Who's your favorite country?
Miley Cyrus's dad,
You-
Billy Ray Cyrus. Do you listen to him?
Yeah, he's probably came on there.
I
a
don't know
time or
any
two.
artists.
I'm trying
either.
I know the Wagon Wheel song.
There you go. Who sings that?
I don't know.
Well, there's two people singing.
Isn't it a black guy who sings that actually?
It's
Darius
Darius
Rucker does a
Rucker, yeah.
version
Yeah,
of
so I
it.
should know that.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Darius
Darius
Rucker.
Rucker.
Darius Rucker.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
What do you listen to?
Sounds like a black guy, and he also sounds like a black guy that would sing country. I like that. Darius Rucker. I like that.
What are you listening to pregame?
A lot of Thug, a lot of Future, a lot of Gunna. Lately it's been Roddy Ricch a lot
Roddy.
and Don Toliver.
Nice.
Honestly, Don Toliver might be number one right now. Like,
I like
in,
them,
in
yeah.
shit that I'm playing the most.
I like Don Toliver.
Yeah, I like Don Toliver a lot. He's fine.
I usually
and
just
Travis.
like I
Can't
just
forget
shit. I
Travis.
just Shazam.
Yeah, like
Can't
that'll
forget
come up all the
Travis
time.
Scott.
Yeah.
I just Shazam whatever they're playing. Like we were in Scottsdale, they were playing music. I'm pretty sure I like wrote down a couple of the songs to put on my list.
Yeah.
you
You
know?
Probably got
'Cause
the-
I-
you
'cause I
probably
don't
got
know
the
any.
Jersey Shore vibes going.
Yeah,
there.
I don't know any music myself.
See, no, like that's
Techno?
Like,
That's
that's
definitely-
not on mine at all.
That's definitely,
Really?
that's definitely on his.
I can't
so
do
far.
like I can't do like pregame like EDM or house. Like no, I want words. I want to like relax and like get
Yeah.
into a zone.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I was thinking about was being the starting quarterback in LA.
Yep.
There's so many other celebrities around there. Is
Right.
it a little different than being the starting quarterback in Detroit? Like,
It's so different. I would never get noticed out there.
really?
You know, if there's football fans, sure,
Yeah.
but like, I was.
in LA.
Yeah, I was.
Really?
I'm
They got the
number.
Kardashians and all. You know.
If I'm
That's still
out,
surprising though.
if I'm out at dinner though, I'm number like 200 of like people that are like interested in seeing like. So it typically wasn't very common to be like, hey, like picture or stuff. Like no, like it was much more concerned about celebrities and whatnot. Whereas out here it's football country and,
All
and people
football,
love
yeah.
sports out here. So I've really appreciated that. It's been fun to play for a fan base like this and to play in a place that is so passionate.
Yeah.
Like last year we're 2 wins against the Packers in the last game of the season. The place is
Yeah.
sold out.
Yeah.
And we win, and it's loud in the fourth quarter.
And
and
when
it's-
we get to winning this year,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, the city's turning up. I promise.
that's right.
The city's going up. I mean, up, like dying for a winner. Up. I
Yeah.
promise.
Yeah, that's
Can't wait.
that's like again, like I spoke about, like the opportunity
Mm-hmm.
we have in front of us this year, is so special and doesn't come around. And I've had experiences of like Cal 1-11, Rams first year bad.
Mhm.
That flip around is nothing like it.
Yeah.
And doing it in a place like this with the fan base we have and with the people who are so passionate in this city that's been wanting it for so long, and I know it's been said a million times, but actually doing it is the opportunity of a lifetime that hopefully we can take advantage of.
Yeah, it'll be unreal. The city,
I feel
the
like
city needs it bad.
I feel it's gonna remind me a lot of like Penn State, like post sanctions when like everything was kind of like
Yeah.
dead, and then we won the Big Ten championship, and like Happy
Yeah.
Valley came alive.
Right.
Like, I feel
Yeah.
like it's gonna be that type. That's
Is Penn State loud?
Oh gosh! Don't do this! Don't do this! What? Fifth largest
I'm
stadium in the
joking.
world?
Fifth,
Yeah.
I think it's more bigger
Fourth
than
maybe?
that.
Yeah, fourth largest
Yeah.
stadium in the world.
What are you doing investment wise? I'm always curious to hear. Like, are you involved in that stuff a lot? Like,
Yeah, I do a handful of things. Typically, I'll give you a little bit of a background, I guess. In LA, you're approached a lot with a million things. There's so much stuff going on
yeah,
out there. So
restaurants. Yeah.
right, sure, restaurants, absolutely. I've been approached with those. Haven't done any, but I would maybe one day. You get so many opportunities. You get so many things come across your phone, come across your desk, so to speak, and you have to figure out a way to weed it out. So you have people around you that can help or that you trust, and have them help you. And since I've been there, I've a handful of things. I don't know how many, but I've invested in things, and mostly it's things that I like or I believe in, or the person running it I trust or believe in, and I've done fine. Yeah, it's you miss some, you hit some, and it's a fun little kind of game on the side for
Yeah.
me right now with I'm not doing huge numbers of like fun investing, but there's times where I'll get excited about something and get involved.
What's been the best investment?
So I invested in a company called Genies.
Genies? What is
and,
that?
I'll explain it. I invested in 2017 at 50 million valuation, and about a month ago they just raised at 1 billion.
Oh,
So there's no return there yet until they
Yeah.
sell or go public, right?
Yeah.
But right now it's
doing all right.
yeah, it's like, what is that, 20x?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're doing all right. Their CEO and part of their team is a good friend of mine, and one of my close friends actually brought it to me when I got to LA, and he was working for them, and they were fairly new, and he was, man, he's like, dude, if this doesn't work, I don't want this to like affect our friendship. I'm like, dude, don't worry about it.
It'd be like that though,
right,
man.
right.
Like when it comes to money,
Yeah.
money is money, you know.
Right.
Like,
So that's why I put in whatever I'm willing to lose in most of these, and so was able to put in a little bit in there, and it's done well. Hopefully it'll sell at some point and do really well. But it's a fun company. It's very to explain what it is. It's an avatar company, so it's very Web3 based, and
Wow.
there we go.
it is a digital. They have right now. They have like a digital warehouse where you can buy like goods for your avatar. So
For like gaming or like.
no, it's kind of in the NFT world where like I want that shirt on my avatar
In
in this
my
world.
Oculus on Metaverse.
Whatever it may be,
Metaverse,
yeah.
whatever.
So it's
Ah,
I think the idea would be to be bought by one of those monster metaverse companies, and
Interesting.
that would be great.
Did you actually invest in Friday Beers?
I did.
You did. Okay. Because I read an article saying you did, and then people were saying you actually didn't. So
did.
you did.
I did.
How'd you evaluate that as an investment?
Because I'm really close friends with the guys who started it.
Okay, cool.
And it was a just total fun one. Again, I'm only
Yeah.
putting in what I'm willing to lose, and I think they're going to do great. They are doing great. I'm actually wearing their shorts right now, but it's a really close friend of mine that started it and came to me and was like, "Dude, whatever you want to put in, it'd be great to have you." And so we
Yeah.
did that, and it's been fun.
That's sweet.
That is
That's
one
sweet.
thing I like that you said though about the investments. Like a lot of people just look at the product or just see how good something is doing. Like the fact that you really take your time to know like who really owns it. Like what is their actual vision? Like
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're
And seeing
investing
what
in a
kind-
founder, really.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I don't think a lot of people
Yeah.
like really realize that when you're investing in a product, you're really investing in a person and what
Totally.
their vision is. So the fact that you said that like and acknowledge that's
For
awesome.
like, there's people that like, for example, the guy who started Genies.
Mm-hmm.
I've told him anything you do forever, I'm in. Like stuff like people like that 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 like.
Who is it?
His name's Akash Nigam, and he's in LA. You don't know him, but he's a good friend of mine.
Nice.
But yeah, like like if think of a teammate of yours
Yeah,
who starts
yeah.
something, you're like, okay, I want to
Yeah.
be on that team.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you just
Whatever
know
he's
he's
doing,
smart.
yeah.
Like you know this guy is meant for success. Like,
Right.
whatever you're doing, I'm on.
And
the
vice
bandwagon.
versa, though,
Right.
right? Like,
Yeah.
so you'll have meetings with people, and you'll be like, all right, like, kind of not feeling that, so
Yeah.
or feeling that person, whatever it may
Yeah,
be, and it's
yeah.
all it's all a game, right? We're not all perfect. There is some info that you can know that can help you make good decisions, but you're gonna miss some, and hopefully you hit more than you miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, like 1 or 2 big hits makes up for all the losses, right?
Right. Well, that'd be ideal, but
Yeah.
you never know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. What's this off season been like for you? You said it's like the most. You're not moving now, but like,
Yeah.
what have you been doing all off season?
It's the first off season that I've had with like nothing going on, which has been fun.
Mm-hmm.
If I go back all the way to when we went to the Super Bowl, obviously that shortens your off season.
Yeah.
The year after that, I had foot surgery. I had a broken bone in my foot, so that shortened that off season. I was doing a lot of rehab there. That went into the 2019 season. The year after that was COVID, so there was no off season. I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry. 2018, 2018 Super Bowl, 2019 foot surgery plus COVID, so it was the same off season. 2020, I got traded, weird off season, also short off season,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
4
now
weeks.
this year, I also broke my thumb in that off season. I was
Okay.
traded, so I was doing thumb rehab. This off season, no surgeries, no trades, focus
Chilling.
and go.
Love it.
Yeah, no COVID,
Yeah.
full steam ahead.
Right. What
Yeah,
goes
well-
most into like getting better as a quarterback in the offseason? Like for me, like getting better is staying in the best shape. It's lifting, running, all that kind of stuff. Like for you, it's a lot different. Is it just throwing routes all day? Is it a ton of film? Like
Yeah,
what is it?
it's
that
different
helps
for
the most?
everybody. It's different for everybody. For me, it's keeping my my stroke sharp,
Like
be-
mechanics.
Yeah, mechanics. I equate it to like a golfer, right? Like they're
Yeah.
keeping that sharp. And now for some quarterbacks, they don't do any of that, and they don't throw like most of the offseason, and mostly the veteran guys. But
Right.
and maybe I'll get there one day where I feel so good about it, I don't need to. But
Yeah.
it is staying in great shape too, and that's what I feel like I've done the best this offseason and been able to because I haven't had to rehab something, and not that that's an excuse, but you know how
No,
it goes.
you look
It's-
good.
It's
No,
harder.
you look good.
And I've been able to, prioritize that, much more, and been able to really, dig into that and spend a whole lot of time having that time available to me and making the most of it.
Yeah, that was the first thing I noticed about you this offseason when I first saw you in the locker room. Said, Jared looks better. It's in great shape.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
look good.
You look good too.
I'm working hard.
It feels like the NFL season keeps getting longer and longer, and the off season gets shorter and shorter. Right.
Right. That is definitely the game they're trying to play.
Well,
That's a long
they added
season.
one, and NFLPA future president Jason Gabinda will tell you they're trying to add as many as
We
they
were just
can.
talking about that actually.
they are. That they are. We're trying to fight that right now.
Yeah.
You find it?
Yeah, we're trying to.
Thank you for saying I look good. That's the best thing I've heard all year.
Cool.
Appreciate that.
No BS.
I love it.
You and David Blouse, back and forth with the 10-yard races. I love it.
Yeah,
I love that
You should have seen
competition.
us today. We were doing the Kaiser Power Squat. Did you see that? We were-
What is it?
the Kaiser Power
Yeah,
Squat
yeah,
has
yeah.
the numbers
The
on there,
rack, yeah.
but it measures your output.
Yeah.
So,
It's like how
much
how
power,
explosive you
yeah,
are.
exactly.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we'll have the same workout, obviously being quarterbacks, and so we'll go against each other and see who can get more. It's
I
fun.
love it. Who
And
won?
they're just going back and forth the whole time. For
Who,
like 10
who,
minutes
who
straight.
wins that? You were blind.
It's split right now. I won the first one. We had another one today. He actually won. We had 5 sets, so it was best of 5.
The question
Really?
is
Love
it
it.
split on the ping pong table? That's the question.
No, I'm kicking his ass there.
Are you good at ping pong?
I'm pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
I can attest
As,
to that.
as good as golf?
I'm better at ping pong.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're pretty good at golf.
Yeah. I would love to play in a real. I don't play ping pong that much until we got the table in our
Yeah.
locker room. I started getting back into it a little bit. But yeah, I beat everyone in our locker room.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's saying much.
Yeah.
But it's fun. I enjoy it.
What's your favorite golf course?
I
you've been
I
on?
play him. He wants to beat me.
We only
bad.
we
Oh,
only
he-
played
he-
once. We only played once.
He's a
What
competitor.
was the score?
11-6.
Yeah, it was solid.
11-6.
I was just.
But
I was just,
he
I was just
has
rallying.
he
up.
has beat everyone in the locker room though.
Really?
Yeah, he has.
David's beat me.
Him and
Like,
him and Blau are the only people who can consistently beat me.
Fox
right now.
can play.
I haven't played Jack.
Jack can play. Riley
Yeah.
can play.
Riley.
I mean, of course, special teams and quarterback.
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, y'all always have these just weird skills.
Right.
Like that's the thing about quarterback is like, I don't know what it is about y'all's brains with aim and accuracy or what it is, but like you can damn near apply it to like anything.
Anything.
Like quarterbacks will
Quarterback's
always
good
be
at
at least
everything, dude.
decent
Yeah.
at most
Yeah.
sports.
Same thing you look like Trace. Like Trace is good at golf. Like he's
Yeah,
good at everything.
Yeah,
You know?
true.
Favorite golf course? Is that, 'cause I know you played a lot of good
Ooh.
ones.
Oh, that's a good question. I've been lucky enough to play Cypress
Where's that?
in Pebble Beach area.
That's gotta be
That's
fire.
got to be my number one.
What'd you shoot there?
I actually played well. I shot 82. Yeah.
Damn.
Dude, 82 at Cypress is like, yeah, it's pretty good.
It's
Yeah.
It's a really hard course.
The greens are really hard.
Really?
I mean, it's fun. It's a really there's parts of the courses that is short, but it's a really fun, challenging course. But yeah, I played well the day I was there. Again, I've probably shot 95 there as well.
Mhm.
But I think my best there, 82 or something.
Yeesh.
Where else?
Where have you played in Scottsdale? What course is there?
Well,
you played
I-
True North?
I have not. Like I mentioned, I played the
Oh,
I played in the
yeah.
waste management at what's that course called?
Yeah, the
Scottsdale TPC.
yeah, TBC.
Oh,
yeah.
TPC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I played there. I've played Whisper Rock. I've played DC Ranch.
Mhm.
Damn, you played in AZ.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a couple places, you know.
Yeah.
Big Scottsdale guy.
I like
Big AZ
Scottsdale.
guy. Yeah.
I like Scottsdale a lot. Scottsdale's fun. I'll go there maybe once a year.
Yeah,
Some friends, play some golf, go out. That's a fun place, man.
yeah. Jason likes
Oh,
Scottsdale
little
too.
Old Town action.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Old Town is fun. It's really fun. Like it's
Nah,
a,
it
it's
really
a
is.
really
It's a
cool
good
place.
Like you walk around Old Town, you can hear the music from all the clubs literally.
Right.
In the
It's
ground.
crazy.
Like in the ground.
You got the W out there. You got all the
Right,
good places.
right,
man.
yep, yep.
Those are spots. The last question I normally ask, I asked Jason the same thing when we did his podcast. What's your why? Like what's the external motivation, or
Yeah.
maybe it's internal motivation that drives you to be the best?
I think it's changed over the years, and I've kind of touched on it a few times. But for me, right now, it's winning, and it's not even close. And it's competing, and it's being the best version of myself every day. How can I do that as the most as possible, and create the best results for myself and my team?
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's winning, and I think I've been on really good teams, and I've been on really bad teams, and I've had really good seasons, and I've had bad seasons, and finding myself in a place where I can consistently produce and consistently win games and chase that competitive juice and that competitive fire of being able to beat the other team and be able to, punish the other team in ways at the end of the games and finish on a 4-minute drive. Like, there's no better feeling than that. And getting us as Lions to a place where we can do that consistently, I take a lot of pride in and would be something that I would be proud of for the rest of my life.
That's awesome.
Love that answer. Absolutely love that answer.
I'm excited to see you guys bring a Super Bowl to Detroit, man.
Would be fun.
Yeah.
Would be a lot
Man,
of fun.
let's get it. It's
Gonna
coming.
take-
I promise you
we're
that.
gonna-
It's coming.
We're gonna run Boss a lot to get this guy involved, and then we're just gonna
Yes,
run Spider
sir.
over and over. Spider,
Spider?
Yes, sir.
Spider, snag 7 flat, give it to Kabinda. 40.
Back in the flat.
That's
it
all
to
we
him.
need. That's all we need.
Give it to him.
So you're saying draft Kabinda on fantasy as a starting
If they have a
fullback,
if they have a fullback spot,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
He gets probably more touches than a lot of guys. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. I mean, we'll get you a ball in the flat once or twice, every couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
Couple
Yeah.
weeks, every game. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Last year
This
you
year,
probably
this
touched the
year
ball.
will be every game.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, it's on you, right?
You're right. We did add
So
some
will
receivers.
we? Will
though.
we? Every
Yeah,
game?
there are
Throw
some
a ball in the
playmakers
flat?
now.
JG?
We added some receivers, and we do have two. We have two running backs. So,
Yeah, we do. We
but
do.
if we are in 21 personnel, you will be touching the ball at some point.
Yes, sir.
I love it. Well, I appreciate you doing this, man.
Yeah, man. This
Appreciate
is
it's been fun.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for setting up, Jason.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
That's a wrap.
Awesome.
That was good.
That was really
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Appreciate
man,
it,
that
man.
was
That was like an hour, so I went a long.
good. No problem. I love it. I love doing these.